Why am I just learning that new Stranger Things photos drop that confirms the return of one of the favorite OG characters to the show? This is one of our favorites from season 1 that they completely forgot about in season 4, and shockingly enough, that's the only reason the main character is lost in the end to Vecna. This character directly contributed to defeating the bad guys in every single season he was in. Season 1, Season 2, and Season 3. Who would have thought that leaving out the smartest person in the show would have resulted in losing to Vecna in Season 4. I am so happy to see that in Season 5, Mr. Clark will be returning to Stranger Things. Yup, the GOAT himself is coming back to defeat Vecna once and for all so we can make it to the final episode called The Right Side Up and everyone can live happily ever after where nobody dies. It's crazy how many hidden details are in all of these new photos. We're going to go through each one of them to see what new things they reveal in Season 5 that weren't in the trailer, because we did that, and go watch that video if you haven't seen it, but there was a lot of stuff we learned. Send this video to all of your Stranger Things friends because I want all the fans to take place in conversations around this show for one last time before it all comes to an end. Now let's just go ahead and jump right into these. So for the first one here, this is an absolute sick shot of the new gang assembled together in what looks to be the Turnbo House. We can see the trim along this upper wall here looks very similar to the trim on the wall in this other picture, this shot of Erica and the director. And also the only clip we got of the inside of the house with Lucas, it kind of looks like this too. We can see some fake plants behind them against the wall, which we can also see in the shot with Lucas here. These here look like the ones in the background a little, and then this window with the pink drape and the white border around it almost looks like it may be behind Lucas in this picture here too. And with episode 3 being called the Turnbo Trap, I wouldn't be surprised if that's when this photo is from. And Steve has upgraded from a baseball bat to a chainsaw, it looks like. That would be insane if he uses it to fight Demogorgons with. That would be so cool. But here it seems like they used it to cut a hole in their floor. I wonder if this is after Erica knocks the parents out, or maybe they're just not home right now. The 4 on the right are all wearing the same outfits we see them in when they go into the Upside Down to Hawkins' lab. And Mike and Lucas are in the same fits from when they are running through the school hallways from the behind the scenes shot. Steve has this confused look on his face, while Dustin seems like he knew what they would find underneath this flooring. I wouldn't be surprised if it was his idea. I wonder if down below leads to the tunnels we see Lucas running through in the teaser where he gets caught by something. Either that or the portal, but there's no red glow here and that is supposedly at the McCorkle's farm. I think this could be the tunnels. And we were saying those tunnels looked more dry and earthy than the wet, slimy, upside down tunnels. I wonder if they actually are the same tunnels from season 2, but they've been disconnected from the upside down for some reason, and now they just exist in the real world as the tunnels they once were, so all the spores have died off and it's just become normal Earth since it's not connected to the hive mind. I love this shot of Eleven in the bus. This is most likely the same bus that they hid inside of in season 2 when they were hiding from the Demogorgon with Steve and Max. They actually showed us behind the scenes pictures of Eleven, Joyce, and Hopper in this junkyard trying to help her train her powers to get ready for her fight with Vecna, but also to learn new ones apparently, like learning how to fly. But this seems like she's in the Upside Down in the bus, using her bandana we see her put on over her mouth in the other shot to cover her eyes and ears, making it easier for her to drift off and go searching for something, or someone, like Vecna. It looks like she's in the same outfit that we see her in while she's training in the real world, and since then, her and Hopper go through this military area we see them in, they go into the Upside Down, and take incoming fire. Hopper uses grenades against the military that follow, they make it to the walls of the Upside Down, and it seems like they eventually find the Creel house. There's this other shot of Eleven using her powers out from behind this tree, but I wonder if somewhere in all of that, Hopper and Elle get separated, and she has to slip into this state to try to find him. But if you remember in the trailer, Hopper says that wherever this blood leads, I need you to fight one last time. And we were thinking, what if he's referring to Vecna's blood from when Nancy shot him out of the Creel attic window in the Upside Down in season 4? And what if they follow his blood trail to track him down, possibly leading them to the edge of the Upside Down? If they choose to go on the offensive this season and take the fight to Vecna, they need to find where he's been hiding first. So maybe instead of searching for Hopper, she's actually searching for Vecna. We can see she has a walkie-talkie in her hand. I wonder if she's using this as static to listen to so she can drift off better like we've seen her do in the past with white noise. Or if she's listening or giving instructions to Hopper, who we saw will be in communications this season with an earpiece, which is really smart, because now he can sneak right up next to a Demogorgon and people can contact him and give him instructions and let him know what's going on. Instead of it shouting out loud through a walkie-talkie, it just goes straight into into his earpiece silently. Wow, this picture brings back such a cool OG main character that we haven't seen in 6 years. It's Mr. Clark's classroom. This picture is so cool. This is kind of what it looks like from last time we saw it. Everything looks pretty similar. This is definitely his classroom. I'm so happy to get Mr. Clark back for this final season. And out of all people, we get to see Erica taking his class. That will be so cool. I can't believe the last time we saw him was all the way back in season 3 when Joyce needed help with her magnets.
Just like my magnets.
Just like your magnets.
Honestly, he's always been one of my favorite adults in the show, really coming in clutch every time the kids need help, and not only that, but he is a great character to use to help explain things to us, the viewers. I was really surprised when they didn't have time to include him in season 4 for how many big things they dealt with, and especially since they introduced the new baddie Vecna for the first time in the entire show. We spent 3 seasons on the Mind Flayer, and now this completely new character with so much backstory, but they also had so many subplots going on that they really didn't have time to include another person. But even in season 3, we only saw him in that one shot helping Joyce out, so I mean they could have done that at the bare minimum. Maybe this just goes to show that he truly is the most important character in the show when it comes to fighting the bad guys. Either way, I'm so happy to be getting this OG character back, I cannot wait. This is an awesome shot of Mike and Lucas in their bikes with camo gear on in a rush, headed somewhere going down this small road at night. You would think by now they're old enough to drive their own cars, which I think they are, but I guess that wouldn't be very Stranger Things. They both have these camouflage vests on. Underneath it, you can see Lucas is wearing his white and red jacket we see him in almost every shot so far, and just the vest on top of that is the camouflage. But it does seem like this is a different day than those because now he's wearing blue jeans instead of those khakis in all the other shots. Him and Mike both now have headsets on to communicate with while they're biking or doing other more important things with their hands than holding a walkie-talkie. They each are wearing earpieces and a microphone, no doubt to stay in communication with the rest of the gang. I wonder, since we've already seen so many of them split up doing their own things this season, if they'll each have their own frequency they'll use for each mini group, or if they'll all just be on the same one. With everyone coming together and adding a couple more characters to the group, it's really big at this point. The original 4 boys, plus 11 and Max, and then Steve, Nancy, and Jonathan, and Robin, but also the adults now, Joyce, Hopper, and Murray. Plus Erica, Holly, and now Derek. That's 16 people. 15 if you don't count Max because she's still unconscious. There would be so much overlap, I feel like, if they're all using the same channel. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Now this shot scares me. Nancy and Jonathan are having an emotional moment in the Upside Down as they rest their heads on each other. This picture expands on a moment from the trailer where we see Nancy crying and so distraught, and we hear Jonathan say that after all we've been through, this thing, it ties us together forever. And now with this picture, seeing Nancy absolutely beside herself while Jonathan's just a little sad, it seems like he's trying to be more comforting than sad himself, almost as if they both know that one of them is not going to make it out and he's going to sacrifice himself or something. And it's just so hard to tell where they're at with this bokeh out background. But we can see that their clothes are still the same. Nancy has 2 main outfits so far. This beautiful pink knitted sweater that I love, and then also this multicolored sweater vest. She's wearing this in the moments when her, Steve, Dustin, and Jonathan drive into the Upside Down with the car and make it to Hawkins' lab, which means they could be there now. And she's also wearing it in the Turnbo House, where it looks like they cut a hole in the floor. They have their jackets on from now through going into the Upside Down, getting to the lab, also that scene of where she cocks her weapon and points it upwards, and even while they're staring at the giant electro death cloud. It's not until they get here that they lose their jackets and they seem a little more hopeless. Jonathan's in the shot of them going into the portal here, and even in this shot of them driving through everyone's fences, if you brighten it up, you can still see there's 4 people in this car. I mean, maybe Jonathan doesn't die, maybe there's a near-death moment, or she's worried about her mom and Holly, who are both definitely in harm's way. I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. Lucky for us, Nancy is in a different outfit than when she's cleaning the blood off her hands. She's in the pink sweater here, meaning hopefully that this specific blood is not Jonathan's. But at the same time, it could still be someone else important. Let's just hope they both make it out of the Upside Down together. Tell me in the comments if you think Jonathan is going to actually survive this final season. Now here's a cool shot of Hopper looking down the sights of his weapon. It looks like behind him is a structure, possibly wooden and a little slanted. This could be right before the scene from the trailer where the military catches up to him and 11 and have him pinned down and he uses the grenades. Maybe this is him leaning against the slanted fallen Turnbo billboard and he's looking ahead for Demogorgons or behind him to see if the military are chasing. Or Maybe he's in the Creel attic. If this is slanted wood, it could be the insides of the attic, like he's on lookout while Eleven is trying to find Vecna's trail. That would be really cool to see them both make it here together. There is a little red on his face, usually meaning red upside down lightning, which there is a lot of by the Creel house, or maybe a portal, like he's watching the one in the center of town while they start the burn we know they were monitoring in the trailer. I love that they're finally taking the blindfold off and showing us Linda Hamilton's new character. I wouldn't be surprised if she's the one tasked with overseeing the military's involvement at Hawkins. Maybe it's up to her to get to the bottom of what happened with the giant rifts opening up the town and try to do damage control before it's too late. It seems like this is probably at the military facility or maybe Hawkins' lab. These low walls on the back left look similar to the interior of the radio station pictures, but not quite. It looks like there's another soldier in the window's reflection down the hall further. This is probably close to the moment we saw them searching for Hop and Elle in the trailer. With all the promo material, they usually try to keep everything they reveal near the beginning of the season. That way it doesn't feel like they showed us too much. That's why we see so many characters in the same outfits across all of these scenes. Even Ross Duffer mentioned when he posted the trailer that almost all of the shots in the teaser 2 are mostly from Volume 1, which is probably just the first 3 episodes. That's crazy! He also said that all of these shots are from every episode except number 7, The Bridge. But what's weird is that's not the finale. There's 8 episodes. The finale episode titled The Right Side Up is the last one, and he said every episode except 7, so does that mean that one of the shots in the trailer is from the finale? Which one could it be? Maybe the mini finale of the trailer itself, where Joyce, Will, and Mike are in the military compound and Vecna comes out of the portal and goes up against Will probably? There's no way that's the actual finale and they showed us that, right? So next, here we get a shot of Holly Wheeler, Mike's little sister, terrified in her room. Not only are there demo dogs on the loose running through Hawkins, but we've seen behind the scenes from this exact moment in her bedroom where all the lights are flickering, implying that something more might be coming after her. This might not be a demo dog, this might be Vecna. I'm really excited to see the new actress Nell Fisher step into the role of Holly this season. I think they did a great job finding someone who looks so similar to the original twins that have played Holly Wheeler in the last 4 seasons. But Fisher has a bit more experience as an actor with a couple movies under her belt already, meaning that Holly Wheeler is going to have a much larger role this season. And it kind of seems like Vecna will be coming after all the kids in Hawkins around her age, and she'll be one of his targets. I can't imagine what he needs them for, but this season is going to be so intense on so many different levels. And then next we have Will and Robin together, which is another completely new duo this season. They're really mixing it up. We got Nancy and Eleven together, which I'm really excited to see. We've got Murray and Robin, and a couple scenes with Joyce and Robin. That should be great too. And now Will and Robin. Geez, maybe it's just Robin. She's really making her way around. This takes place near the beginning of the show. Will is in his trauma outfit, as in the outfit he got digitally scanned in, meaning there will probably be some traumatic action scenes of him in this outfit involving something scary here. He's wearing this while the OG boys are in the woods before school when he wanders off. He wears this at the radio station from earlier. Same with Robin in the Beam Me Up crew neck. I would assume this is when they're both together at the radio station. Maybe they went outside to look at the radio tower or something. It looks like it'll be nighttime with the flashlights here, and nothing ever good happens at night. All I can say is that I'm happy they finally did Will justice, and after 9 years now, someone finally gave him a good haircut. This actually looks great, especially compared to the last season's cuts. Season 1, when he was the youngest, it was the most acceptable because everyone's mom cuts their hair at that age. But after that, it just got worse and worse. I mean, look at season 3, come on. And season 4, goodness gracious, now they're just messing with us. Maybe Joyce took him to John's hairdressers over by Melvald's, or maybe she attended a haircutting class at the library or something. Okay, now I love how happy Murray looks here, chipper as ever with the dopest leather jacket I've seen in a very long time. Has anyone wondered, though, why his name tag says Austin? I wonder if he's using an alias at this corporate job because he's so suspicious of everything, or maybe he doesn't actually work there. What if he just stole someone named Austin's uniform and stole this box truck? That would be so unhinged. I feel like it's not like Murray to go out and work for a grocery store. It's almost easier to believe that he just stole this for a mission to defeat Vecna. Which, speaking of, for as helpful as Murray's been in Stranger Things, I'm not sure he completely knows everything about the Upside Down, and especially not Vecna. I mean, Hopper and Joyce don't even know who he is yet, or at least until off-screen at the end of season 4 where everyone catches them up to speed after they get back from Russia. I'm so excited for more Murray this season. He was great in season 4. I love his unhinged antics. I can't wait to have him back as the wild card for this final season, and I really want one of these sick leather jackets he's rocking. Steve's sweater looks really cool too. I love that it's going to be taking place in the fall, so everyone's breaking out their 80s sweaters. Too bad I live in Florida, or I would join them too. And that does it for all the new photos. Subscribe so you don't miss the next video, and I will see you soon with another one. Peace.